Welcome back to the Beast Game Podcast. This is a review for Resident Evil, The Last Chapter. The movie's directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, known for Mortal Kombat, the lackluster Pompeii, and all the other terrible Resident Evil movies. It stars Mila Jovovich as Alice and Ian Glenn as Dr. Isaacs. Jovovich is best known for all the movies in the series. Glenn is best known for his role on Game of Thrones. Synopsis: Alice returns to where the nightmare began, the Hive in Raccoon City, where the Umbrella Corporation is gathering its forces for a final strike against the only remaining survivors of the apocalypse. So, slight overview. There's an opening monologue. It talks about the Umbrella Corporation and a Dr. Marcus. Marcus was trying to rid his daughter of an Asian disease. He created something called the T-Virus. It cured her and other people. But one of the side effects, if you don't pay attention to the commercials, is that it causes zombieism. Marcus wanted to shut down the program, but Dr. Isaacs was more concerned about profits, and he didn't want to deal with the financial chaos, so he had Marcus killed. Isaacs moves on, creates an AI called the Red Queen. Then it talks about the outbreak from the first movie in Raccoon City, and it spreads. It jumps forward in time. Alice meets the Red Queen, and she's told that she must save the last remaining human settlements from the zombie apocalypse by releasing the antivirus that is in the Hive. And that's where we'll stop. And Matt, what did you think of Resident Evil, The Last Chapter?
I could have waited for it to come on Fox.
He didn't even say TNT or TBS or FX.
No, I said Fox.
He said Fox. I mean, this is coming on in the afternoon. On a Saturday.
And like on public TV where if I was snowed in the house.
You have no other option.
No other option.
He didn't say Netflix, people. He didn't say TNT.
No.
So, James.
This movie was bad. Like, really, really, really unbelievably bad. I didn't think that I would have something close to Blair Witch ever so soon. But this is close to Blair Witch. This is close to Blair Witch in my eyes. I mean, there was nothing redeemable about it. Matter of fact, if I remember correctly, the continuity is all off. The continuity is off. The writing was horrible. All these one-liners and just all around bad. There was nothing positive about this movie. All thing that was positive about it is when it ended.
Well, Matt, what did you not like about the movie?
It was one of my least favorite movies in the series. Some of the things that I did not understand. So, for example, Wesker, who can take a gazillion bullets to the face and pretty much gets hurt by a door? A door.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not even done yet.
Oh, go ahead, Matt. Continue.
Go ahead, Matt.
One of the plots reminded me of something from the 80s, which I was just like, oh gosh, are you serious? For example, do you remember part of RoboCop where RoboCop couldn't kill an OCP employee?
Oh, yeah. Like the safeguard measure.
I know what he's going to say, and I have some issues with that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, can't kill an OCP employee. He's kind of like a safeguard. Predictability of this movie kind of killed me.
Yeah.
Like, you could predict one moment from the other, especially when the dogs went ahead, they just stopped coming. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? You're right. I mean, this movie was just a straight, narrow path. There was no deviation, nothing like you thought. There was no surprises. Everything was just basically cookie cutter. There's a mole in your group here. There's an agent. Who didn't know that guy was going to be the agent? Why the hell would you get so close to Claire in a short period of time?
Basically.
I mean, come on, man. And he was the obvious choice. Like, the other guy hated her. It was just, come on.
And James was 100% correct. It was a very linear movie. It's from point A to point B. But even the first Resident Evil video game was not this predictable.
But the first movie is the best movie out of the series. I mean, you didn't know where it was going with it. I mean, it was
It's
just
not a bad movie. It is a solid movie. And somehow after that, Paul W.S. Anderson goes downhill. Like, way downhill.
Yeah, I mean, he's just about on that Uwe Boll status.
Well, let me just go ahead and say a couple of things. And we're probably going to just wrap this up. But
Are you about to say that you love this movie?
No. As soon as the opening monologue hit and it started showing the flashbacks, I had a flashback myself to an earlier movie called Underworld Blood Origins or Blood Wars or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it, but just from how you described it, it was very similar to this. I was like, this was what Barry was talking about.
So the next thing, let's talk about the camera work and editing. The shutter speed, the jitteriness, the shaky cam, the shaky editing, the shaky script, the shaky dialogue, all the action scenes. The cuts don't last for any longer than 4 seconds, and they hurt my eyes.
Yes, you cannot be epileptic. You would have a seizure.
Yes.
And Barry, you, like I said, man, you and I are in sync because I was like, oh my God, a jump cut to a jump cut to a jump cut to a jump cut. What the hell just happened here? I don't know what just happened. Jump cut, and then
that's Underworld Blood Wars.
Whoever or what she was fighting against dead. You don't even see how they died.
Yeah, because there was like that fight that they were on top of the zombie tank, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? I don't know. Let me continue.
I didn't care if any of the characters died, including the main one.
So the next thing is that the cinematographer, the DOP on this is Glenn McPherson. The only good movies that this person has shot is Romeo Must Die, Walking Tall, and the 2000 something Rambo movie. The editor's name is D.B. White, and neither one of these people should be allowed to work in Hollywood again, like ever. A lot of the AI stuff started to remind me of Terminator Genesis.
Yeah, it did have some.
I would say that, yeah.
So Matt brought up the issue with the Red Queen, and then I started thinking, so the Red Queen says that she was created to serve Umbrella, but is also there to preserve human life. Her programming won't allow her to harm an Umbrella employee. But why don't you just trap them in a room so you're not harming them so she can release the T-virus?
You would think that, right? See, that's the problem, Barry. This is what you're doing right
Plot hole.
Logically, you can't think logically with this.
You have to sit through an hour and 40 some odd minute movie. Well, I was only created to do this and I can't do that. I'm like, this is stupid. So to wrap this up, Alice walking on the road scenes kind of reminded me of The Walking Dead, like the first episodes of that where Rick is just walking on a horse. The overall outcome of this movie was supposed to be shocking and it's boring and muddled. So Matt, what score would you give Resident Evil, the last something?
I had to give some thought to this.
Will this be the first movie to get a 0?
No. I wouldn't give it a 0. I would give this a 4.5. On par with Election Year.
I'm actually surprised by that.
I would rather watch X-Men Apocalypse again.
Okay.
So James, same question.
I would give this 0.5. Same as Blair Witch.
What did you give Independence Day 2?
I didn't see Independence
Day. I reviewed Independence Day and that was a 3.
Yeah, this is bad.
This is bad. I'd rather watch Independence Day than this movie.
No, I heard Independence Day was horrible.
So you know what? Barry's going there again. This movie gets a 0.
A 0.
This movie gets a 0.
Hey!
Yeah. There's no redeeming qualities to this movie.
Nothing.
We talk about the editing, bad. We talk about the story, bad. We talk about the action. All the action in this, you can't even pay attention to it. The dialogue in it is just like, I want to say one line. And I'm like, you don't hear anything until somebody else says one more line. And I'm going to say a line. And I'm going to say one line. I'm like, what in the world? If you look at the script for this, it's just like pause, line, some random action that you can't even see because shaky cam and shutter speed tricks.
And bad editing. Horrible editing.
Atrocious editing has caused this movie to get a 0. And that's the Beast Game Podcast. You can find more of our podcasts at beastgame.com, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Twitter, and YouTube. Matt, you on something because you gave it a 4.
It was still a horrible score, but damn.